Hello and welcome to day 20 of 21 days of tapping. We are almost there. I'm Allison Morris with Full Potential Parenting, and today I want to talk about feeling powerless, feeling like a victim. And this is, I think, something that a lot of us struggle with fairly frequently, where you feel like life is happening to you all the time and that it's not happening for you, that you have no control over anything in your life and bad things just keep happening. And it feels like we don't have any power to change anything. And that doesn't feel very good. So I'd like to invite you to recollect a time where you have felt particularly powerless or like a victim. It might have been when your child was raging at you or threatening to do something awful if you didn't comply with some demand. It might have been when a parent blamed you for something that you didn't do when you were a kid, or maybe a sibling got you in trouble, or a teacher thought that you were passing notes or something. Whatever the situation might be, we all have many of these instances in our lives where it feels like that we didn't do anything wrong, and yet bad things continue to happen to us. And I'd like us to try to do a little tapping to see if we can't shift our perspective. I personally believe that we all have a whole lot more control over our lives and what happens to us than we give ourselves credit for. And even though it may be, it's always more difficult to put into action, I think, than it is to just think about as a concept. But our thoughts are very powerful, and we always have control over how we think about things, how we respond, how we perceive them, how we interpret them, how we incorporate them into sort of the narrative of our lives. So I want you to, again, feel into the feeling of being a victim, of feeling powerless in the face of whatever is going on in your lives. And let's go to our karate chop point. We're going to do a little tapping. If you'd like, you can give that feeling a rating on a scale of 0 to 10 before we get started. Even though I feel like I'm powerless to change anything in my life, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I feel like such a victim so much of the time, I don't have any control over what's happening to me. I accept that I am responsible for how I feel at all times. Even though it feels like things are always happening to me instead of for me, I forgive myself and anyone else who has helped me feel this way about the world and my life. Top of the head. I feel so powerless. Eyebrow. I don't feel like I'm in control of how I feel. Side of the eye. It feels like things just happen to me. Under the eye. And then they make me feel a certain way. Under the nose. Always whipped around by circumstances. Chin. And I feel like I don't have any control over anything. Collarbone. I'm just a victim to whatever comes my way. Under the arm. And what other people around me say and do. Top of the head. Life isn't fair. Eyebrow. Feels like bad things are always happening to me. Side of the eye. And I have to deal with them even though they're not my fault. Under the eye. I don't have any control over my own life. Under the nose. I really feel powerless. Chin. All I can do is react to whatever comes my way. Collarbone. And I usually react in ways that don't feel good. Under the arm. I wonder if I could step back just a little. Top of the head. I wonder if I could stop taking things so personally. Eyebrow. Most of the things going on really aren't about me anyway, are they? Side of the eye. What others say and do is always a reflection of how they are feeling. Under the eye. It doesn't have anything to do with me. Under the nose. I can't control what others do. Chin. But I can control what I think about what they do. Collarbone. I can control how I respond to what they do. Under the arm. I'm ready to reclaim power over my emotional responses to the world. Top of the head. I'm ready to release any need to take myself so seriously. Eyebrow. I'm always in control of the story I tell about what's going on. Side of the eye. I release any of this victim energy that I've been carrying around inside of me. Under the eye. I don't need it to stay safe any longer. Under the nose. I'm responsible for how I interpret what happens in my life. Chin. I'm ready to own my own emotions instead of blaming others for them. Collarbone. I now reclaim my own power. Under the arm. I'm in control of how I live and respond to my life. All right, let's big breath. I think, as with most of these, there's probably more tapping to be done in this area. And somewhat of what I said may not feel right to you, and that's fine. Then just use your own words to express how you're feeling about feeling powerless. And you may need to do more tapping just on that feeling itself. You might need to do several rounds on just, I'm a victim, I feel powerless, I feel like a doormat, I have no control. Just say those words over and over and over again, and that's fine. Until you notice a shift. And again, that could be yawning, sighing. You might notice physical changes. However, you've come to learn as you've done more tapping how you notice that you kind of process and release energy. So I will see you tomorrow for one last day. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.